Welcome back. So this is something a little different than what I usually post on here. I've been searching for an autograph card from every quarterback that has played a regular season game for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not done, you'd be surprised at how much Brady Quinn cards go for, but I've still built up a decent collection, including what might be the biggest Brodie Croyle collection in Kansas City. What an amazing investment. Almost as good as my signed Bobby Witt cards. My current list goes back to the year I was born, a list that starts with Steve Bono. I went through full season stats while putting this list together, simply looking for anyone that has taken a regular season snap under center. And one name caught me off guard because I did not recall this player at all, Quinn Gray. Even after going through every season since the mid-1990s and fully building this list, Gray was the only name I could not remember. Googling his name, the first two results are of a fake kidnapping in Florida. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure this is a different person. What really caught me off guard was seeing his stats. He only made one appearance as a Chief, not as the starter, but he went 7 for 8 passing, throwing for 76 yards and even a touchdown. Plus he had a 27-yard rush, no turnovers, and a 145.8 passer rating, even if it is a small sample size. Adding to the confusion was the fact he played on the 2008 team. This was the last year of the Herm Edwards era in Kansas City, and yes, I'm saying error, not era. Let's just say the Chiefs did not play to win the game that season. Okay, fine, technically they did twice. The Chiefs QB room consisted of Week 1 starter Brodie Croyle, Damon Huard, and Tyler Thigpen. Herm and then General Manager Carl Peterson tried gaslighting everyone into believing the team had 3 starting capable quarterbacks, but fans knew the truth. Considering the revolving door quarterback that season, how did a player that played so well, albeit briefly, not get more of a chance, and how did I not remember this person? A little on Gray. He originally entered the league as an undrafted free agent and spent a few years playing in NFL Europe where he won World Bowl 11. He later signed as a backup with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wait, really? That fake kidnapping literally started in Jacksonville. I'm still pretty sure this is 2 different people. Back on topic. Gray made 4 starts during the 2007 season, subbing for an injured David Garrard, the only 4 starts of his career, and almost led a comeback against the Chiefs as a late game sub the year prior. I'm not saying he was great, but he was a perfectly serviceable backup, going 2-2 in his starts with a higher quarterback rating and passer rating than anyone on the 2007 or 2008 Chiefs. Early in the season, Damon Huard and Brodie Croyle were placed on injured reserve, and on October 22, 2008, after bouncing around a few teams during the preseason, Quinn Gray was signed to a 2-year deal to back up Tyler Thigpen. At the time, the Chiefs were experimenting with a spread offense that mimicked Thigpen's college offense at Coastal Carolina, something that was extremely uncommon at the pro level. Gray, known for being a mobile quarterback, made sense for the new system. When Gray was signed, Thigpen ranked last in the NFL with a 44.3 quarterback rating. The Chiefs were committed to Thigpen, and in their defense, he was starting to show some signs of life, but regardless, Gray had a path to playtime. The game Gray appeared in was on November 23rd, Week 12, a month after he was signed. There's no reason to talk about the full game. It was awful, and it signaled the beginning of the end of the Herm Edwards era. This is still the Chiefs franchise record for most points allowed in a single game. That shootout with the Rams would later tie the record. I was curious if this was the game that got blacked out locally due to poor ticket sales, which might explain why I do not recall this, but that game was during the 2009 season, the home finale against the Browns. Yet another game we do not talk about. To be honest, I was prioritizing NASCAR on Sundays during this time, and I figured I was probably watching that instead. However, the season ended the weekend prior. I did not even have that as an excuse. Gray did not enter the game until the 4th quarter with less than 5 minutes remaining, and the Chiefs down 30 points. With 2 quarterbacks already on IR, Gray was simply getting some garbage time snaps to protect Tyler Thigpen. Gray's first pass was incomplete, but he would proceed to complete 6 passes in a row, the last to Dwayne Bowe for a touchdown. He got one more drive at the end of the game, which included a 7th completed pass in a row and a 27-yard rush up the middle. This would not just be the last play of the season for him, but the last play of his NFL career. He remained the backup behind Tyler Thigpen for the rest of the season, and will be released on March 11, 2009. Credit to him, he remained with the Chiefs longer than Herm Edwards did. Today, Quinn Gray is still involved with football, as he is the current head coach for Albany State's football team. I can understand why Gray never got another chance. Herm Edwards had another year on his contract, and he needed to give Tyler Thigpen, who was on a cheap rookie contract, every chance possible to prove whether he could be the guy for next season. Thigpen was also playing much better than he was early in the year. In fact, the Buffalo game, where he had 3 turnovers including 2 interceptions, was his first bad game in several weeks. Gray did look impressive, but it wasn't garbage time against either of the Bills' backups. or starters that had no reason to give their full efforts. With that being said, I kinda wish he did get another chance. Let me remind you, Gray was signed to a 2-year contract. I feel like the Chiefs had every intention of giving him a chance at some points, and while Thigpen was playing better, there were still questions regarding his long-term future. Carl Pearson announced his resignation as general manager before the season ended, and I'm sure Herm saw the writing on the wall regarding his own future. I cannot help but think about Gerard Mayo playing Joe Milton at quarterback for the final game of the season, hours before he got fired. Could Quinn Gray have seen the field under similar circumstances? At the very least, you get a clearer picture of what you have. If there's any consolation, it's good that his career ended on a high note. Quinn Gray may just be a forgotten footnote in a forgettable season, but for one brief moment, he brought excitement to a team desperate for a spark. Unfortunately, it would end up being his last chance to shine. If you're new here, well, welcome. If it was not already obvious, I mainly talk about the Royals on this channel, and not just any Royals moments, I'm talking about those moments. Who can forget about Miguel Tejada, or Brian Bullington, Mark Redmond, Johnny Giavotella? I remember them all and more. Baseball season will be here sooner than you realize, February 12th to be exact. If you want in on this wild ride, then like and subscribe. I'll admit that I do not have any imminent plans for more Chiefs videos. I'd love to do a video on the 2008 quarterback battle. Yes, all 3 of the quality starting quarterbacks, but I did not have the time to properly do the video justice. If this does well, then I might make an occasional Chiefs video for special moments. I mean, the big game is coming up quick. Just quickly, I do have a Blue Sky account. I know I'm not that active, but it's there if you want to follow along. Until next time, and go Chiefs!
150 straight games. First and goal. Gray up in the air and caught by Bo. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Great play by Bo. And we flashes of talent on this football team. They just have to be able to put it all together.